Hello YouTube, CivilianSnowman here, and I'm bringing you the answers to the Q&A. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who left questions and commented on my last video with the shout outs and the Q&A and the 200 subs announcement. I really appreciate all of that. I got loads of people saying congratulations, so thanks a lot, it means a lot. Okay, first question. 2009 Movie Watcher asks, what was your first DVD? Well, I'm ashamed to say this, but the first DVD I ever got was Wild Wild West. That's right, the Will Smith, Barry Sonnenfeld masterpiece. And make of that what you will, but no need to elaborate on that. Cormac, sorry dude, I don't know how to pronounce your name. If I just butchered it, I'm really sorry. Which Back to the Future is your favourite? Probably the first one, because I really consider the first one to be a modern classic. I think it's brilliant. What is your favourite Quentin Tarantino movie? Well, it's probably between Reservoir Dogs and Pulp Fiction, but gun to my head, no pun intended, I'd probably say Reservoir Dogs. I love that film unconditionally. I think Reservoir Dogs is probably my favourite Quentin Tarantino film, although not his best. So yeah, there you go. And what is your favourite food? I don't so much have a favourite food. I just find myself eating like pizza a lot, just because it's easy to do. Pecky Nobo, I think that says. Sorry, I'm really not good at pronouncing usernames. I have tons of questions. Well, not really, but one to start with. In the background, I see your Phantasm box set. So my question is, what is your favourite DVD box set? My favourite one is probably, I'm a big fan of the Blade Runner 5-disc Final Cut edition, but my favourite box set is probably the Alien quadrilogy, like the 9-disc set, because I don't think you get a more comprehensive edition of the Alien saga, regardless of how you feel about the 3rd and 4th movies. I think the set is ridiculously good. You know, you get different versions of the films, you get a shit ton of special features, so the Alien quadrilogy box set is probably my favourite DVD. Opeth Fanatic asks, you said you like comics, who's your favourite superhero and supervillain? Hard to say really. My favourite superhero is probably Batman. I like him because he doesn't have powers, you know, stuff like that. He's a bit more in the real world, you know, even though he's still very much a comic book character, but he's very much in the real world. My favourite supervillain would probably be the Joker, you know, as predictable as that sounds. I love the Joker, just how he's not necessarily insane, but maybe the most rational person in the Batman universe, and polar opposite to Batman. So yeah, those are probably my favourite superhero and supervillains. And what battle would you like to see between any comic book characters from Marvel, DC, anything? I would like to see Batman take on Rorschach from Watchmen. I think that would be pretty interesting. Googo PQP asks, what genre of movies can you not stand? How many movies do you watch weekly on average, and top 5 comedies? Alright, I watch quite a few movies. It really varies though, because I watch TV a lot as well. TV box sets, that is. I don't actually watch television because I can't stand television, but television shows, proper shows, you know, like not like Dancing on Ice and Strictly Come Dancing and shit like that, you know, I can't stand that. Big Brother and stuff, bollocks. I watch a lot of dramatised TV shows, obviously, like Dexter, Lost and stuff, right? So I don't know how many movies I watch on average weekly, because it really fluctuates. I can't stand, though, in terms of genres, I can't stand romantic comedies, and the reason for that is there's no good ones, really. My favourite kind of romantic comedy is like Kevin Smith's Chasing Amy. You know, it takes itself seriously and it uses the dialogue to make the audience laugh and care about the characters. So I really dig Chasing Amy. So, yeah, that's kind of, because I think most romantic comedies devolve into, oh, let's watch Renee Zellweger fall off a chair or something, oh, big laughs, or Katherine Heigl fall out of a tree and show her underwear, you know, who gives a flying fuck? You know, you don't need people acting like buffoons to make you laugh, and most romantic comedies rely on that. And my top 5 comedies would probably be, in no particular order, probably Chasing Amy, Clerks 1, Planes, Trains and Automobiles, maybe Ferris Bueller's Day Off, I don't know, that's 4. Just stuff like that, you know, the good shit. The Kevin Smith, the John Hughes, the kind of character-driven, somewhat emotional stories, I think, are the best kind of comedies. Darth Garrus asks, grr, I typed in loads of questions and they vanished. Oh well, I'll try again. Congrats on all the subscribers, by the way. Okay, number 1, do you support any football teams? No, I don't like football at all. Sorry about that. Who is your favourite Transformer? Probably Optimus Prime, you know. That's from the cartoon series, not the films. Although I like the first movie, the second one sucked, as you probably see from my review if you watch that. Have you seen the Sarah Connor Chronicles? I have. I actually own the first season of the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and I think it's one of the worst television series to appear on TV in a long, long time. I think it's absolutely awful. It's like almost like a Twilight version of the Terminator series. You know, all it is these exceptionally good-looking actors posing all the time. I just thought it was bullshit. Although it's not without its merits. There is one scene where a Terminator is sent back in time to collect metal to build other Terminators with after Judgment Day, and the stockpiling and stuff. I thought that was some really clever stuff. But most of the series was just absolute shit. I wouldn't recommend it to Terminator fans at all. I thought Terminator 3 was far better. Now that says something, doesn't it? What is your favourite video game and video game console? Favourite video game of all time is probably either Halo 1 or GoldenEye on the N64, but my favourite video game console is definitely the Xbox 360. I just prefer the accessibility. I think it's more user-friendly than the PlayStation 3. I own both, so I'm not biased. I actually own a PS3, use it as a Blu-ray player, but in terms of video games, I think the Xbox 360 is leaps and bounds ahead of the PS3. What is your favourite anime? Difficult to say, really. I really like Ninja Scroll and Blood the Last Vampire. It's probably one of them. Although Dragon Ball Z, the series as well, not that Dragon Ball with the little children sort of shit in it, but Dragon Ball Z, the actual adult series, I thought was pretty badass. So those are probably my favourite animes. Pirates or ninjas? Probably pirates. I think they're more interesting to look at aesthetically, although ninjas will probably kick the shit out of them. But personally, I prefer pirates. Gamerman 55111 asks, favourite Evil Dead film? It's got to be Evil Dead 2, come on. What do you think of the Hostel movies? I actually, I don't hate the Hostel movies, I quite like them, I own them both. They're the sort of film you can watch with a group of friends and enjoy them. Although it does really, they are just gore for the sake of gore, and I'm not into that. Like, I'm a firm believer that what you don't see is more frightening, because you look at gore, you know, it doesn't have a lasting effect, you know, to me. But yeah, the Hostel movies are alright, they're watchable, you know. Are you going to see H2, Halloween 2? Yes, of course I am. I love the original Halloween, I absolutely adore, obviously everybody does. I really enjoyed Rob Zombie's remake, I thought he took it in a very interesting direction, so I really enjoyed that. And yeah, so I'm really looking forward to see what he can do with Halloween 2. It's bound to be better than the other sequels, isn't it? You know, there's like one, maybe two good Halloween movies, you know, so I think Rob Zombie will deliver a sequel that's better than the others anyway, so. Are you into heavy metal? No, not really. I mean, the nearest thing to heavy metal I'm into is AC/DC, but I wouldn't class that as heavy metal. Never really been into heavy metal just because it all sounds the same, you know. It's the same reason I'm not into rap and stuff, so yeah, I prefer interesting music like The Shins. If you haven't listened to The Shins already, just type in The Shins on YouTube, it'll change your life. Favourite zombie movies, George A. Romero's original Day of the Dead. Jason or Michael Myers? Michael Myers, because I think Jason is, well, obviously he's kind of a supernatural being, and I just think Michael Myers is more sinister, but that's really just down to me. What do you think of Rob Zombie's work? As a musician, I don't like his music at all, but I think his films are badass. I liked House of a Thousand Corpses. I thought The Devil's Rejects was brilliant, and I really enjoyed his remake of Halloween, so I think he's a really good filmmaker who's gonna, you know, be a name to look out for in the future. Batman or Superman? Definitely Batman. I think Superman's too perfect, and I think Batman's kind of fractured psyche is a lot more interesting than Superman. Favourite all-time film? Terminator 2, Judgment Day. Would you ever want to be a zombie? It would depend really on who I was with. If I was with people that I wouldn't mind eating, you know, people, dickheads basically, then yeah, I wouldn't mind being a zombie and rip them apart, that'd be fun. But you don't need to be a zombie to do that. Are you going to see Saw 6? Probably not. I love the first Saw film. I think it's a very tight psychological thriller. Saw 1 is absolutely brilliant. People tend to forget that because the sequels are so bad. Saw 2 and 3 were watchable, but they just evolved into hostile territory, gore for the sake of gore, and became boring, and every film tried to outdo the previous one's twist. Saw 4 was just kind of non-existent, and Saw 5 was just like just watching a music video basically. So the Saw films have really turned shit, but I think the first one is brilliant. I probably won't be seeing Saw 6 though.